Hello, this is Daniel Mart back again. I am an actor and filmmaker based out of South Florida, and for this video, I'm gonna be doing another movie haul. So yeah, I'm currently filming this midway through June. It's currently June 16th, literally Father's Day morning, but I'm not really gonna release this till like halfway through July because of just my schedule right now with my posting schedule and some of the videos I have ahead of time. But I want to get this first part out of the way before I get more movies in the interim between when I'm filming this and when I actually post this. And yeah, just because I have a lot of videos kind of in the way right now that I have to pre-record before I even release this video. Right now, some of the videos I have ahead of time, which are already on the channel by the time I post this, are a couple of retrospective videos on my career so far as an actor. This past June was my 10-year anniversary as an actor. At the time that I'm filming this, I just posted my overall retrospective discussion topic a few days ago as to how it's been in the past 10 years as an actor. And then in the next couple weeks, at the time that I'm filming this video, I'm going to be posting my reaction video to some of the videos here I have here on my channel. Again, to like kind of relive those memories, as well as a ranking of some of the best and worst projects I've ever been a part of. So that's basically a whole month. And then on top of that, I'm also going to be doing, as you can maybe tell, I got a new shelf. So yeah, include that as part of the haul. I got a new shelf. And that's basically a whole video of me remodeling my room. So it's not just a shelf. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I've also changed some of the posters that I have here, where they're placed, how they're positioned. I've also released that video by this point, so you guys could definitely go check that out. And yeah, but in order for me to like kind of continue with that video, because that video is still not completely done, the whole remodeling of it all. In order for me to continue that video, I kind of need to start filming this video so I could properly put away my movies and I could properly further remodel my room, so to speak. So that's why I'm doing this part one. I don't know when the hell part two is going to be for this video, but I'll be edited here into a video and you'll see what other movies I get in the future. And I have ordered a bunch of movies by this point. So yeah, let's start off. I'm going to start off with the Blu-rays. And the first one I have here, we have a mix of stuff that I got from Dollar Tree and Walmart's here. We have a mix of that. Plus 3 more movies I got here from a family member, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, this is at this moment, this is basically a mix of Dollar Tree, Dollar Store pickups, and Walmart pickups, plus a few miscellaneous stuff. So first off here, we have Shadowland, which I picked up at the Dollar Tree. And honestly, again, my philosophy with Blu-rays at Dollar Tree is pick it up. Honestly, if it's a Blu-ray, pick it up. It's there for $1. Who cares? And honestly, that's usually worked out for me. And no, I don't see a reason why this wouldn't work out for me. I did look up this movie and it didn't have the best reviews, but as long as you have a fun, cheesy, good time, it is what it is. So Shadowland. Next up from Walmart, I picked up Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. So yeah, this was there at Walmart for about $10, I want to say. So yeah, and just to have it on Blu-ray. And here's the thing, I haven't seen Snow White in forever. I know I've seen it. I just don't remember when the last time I saw it. I probably saw it when I was like a child. And I just haven't seen it ever since then, so my memory of it is very fuzzy, if I'm being honest. And yeah, so that's why I picked it up. And honestly, I really like this style of covers, the slip covers. I really do like the style with the white background and the pop of color, not color, but like the cartoon design, whatever you want to call it. Is like the image that's used here. I really like all these slip covers that they have here recently. I haven't been the biggest fan of most Disney slipcovers, if I'm being honest. Like, if it's just like the poster on a slipcover, okay, cool, whatever. It is what it is, and it's cool, it's whatever. But there's also like a series of slipcovers I've seen recently where it's basically a gray background with like the main character just plastered on the front, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, if I'm being honest. The fact that it's just like a solid gray background. I have the Aladdin DVD, which is very similar, but instead of it being a gray background, it's with the purple background. I feel like it's better with that when the color is more in line with whatever the movie is, instead of just having a solid gray background. I feel like that's kind of just I don't know. I'm just not attracted to it as much. But in this case with the white background, it's pretty cool. I like the artwork. If this was gray, I'd be like, why? It looks stupid. But yeah. Next up, I picked up a steelbook, and this is the Firefly trilogy here. Rob Zombie's Firefly trilogy. Pretty cool steelbook. I got it for about $20, I want to say, give or take. And yeah, I've never seen any of the Firefly movies, but picked it up, why not? And it's a steelbook, even better. Next up, I picked up E.T., and fun fact, I've actually never seen E.T. Go figure. Actually, the next couple of Blu-rays I actually got from Target, funny enough. And you'll see a little bit more of that journey, getting those movies, on my video of me remodeling my room, because I actually got them while I was picking out a picture frame for a painting that I need here, or that I have here, that I still need to hang up. So yeah, so if you guys want to see a little bit more behind the scenes videos of how I pick up movies, go check out that video. But yeah, here's E.T., and yeah, again, I've never seen this movie ever, surprisingly, even though I did kind of dress up as E.T. at one point for Halloween, kind of. It's one of those things, I had like an E.T. shirt. I'm kind of surprised I kind of got away with it, looking back at it, because Jesus Christ. But what happened is, I went as almost like a zombie scientist E.T. type of thing for Halloween one time to school. And the reason I said it's kind of weird I got away with this, because, like, looking back at it, I may have done blackface straight up. I think I may have done blackface, because I had some, like, face paint where it was supposed to be gray, but as it was drying up, it just kept getting darker, you know? Because I was trying to, you know, imitate the E.T., because the E.T. is gray, but so I put out some face paint. And again, as it was drying up, it just kind of got darker throughout the day. So I don't know if I have pictures of that, but it was just basically me with like E.T. t-shirt and like a lab coat, and like the lab coat is from this old zombie costume that I used to have. And so there's like fake blood splatter on top of everything else, and then again the face paint. I'm also kind of surprised I got away with the face paint, because we weren't allowed to do face paint. I didn't realize that till I actually got to school, but it was one of those things like everybody just decided to put like makeup on their face to like be distorted, because either they're vampires, or I remember there's a kid who's like werewolf, a really good werewolf costume, so there's that too. So after a while, like everybody just kind of stopped giving a fuck. Like the teachers were like, okay, fuck it, it's Halloween, whatever. And yeah, again, that paint was just trying. And if I have a picture, I'll post it up here. I don't think I do, but if I do, if I find a picture of it, there you go. It's one of those things. Looking back at it, I'm almost convinced I may have done blackface by accident. So go figure. It's just so weird, so weird. Next up, because of the fact that Maxine is coming out soon, I picked up Pearl and X. So, two really good movies. The one thing I find kind of weird, also from Target, the one thing I find kind of weird is the fact that X was there for $10 and Pearl was there for $15. It's like, why wouldn't they be the same price? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the one thing I found kind of weird. But honestly, these are really great movies, both of them. I really love them. It's one of the best horror movies in recent years. It's one of those things that I think I prefer X more, but from a technical standpoint, Pearl is a better movie, if that makes sense. But either way, they're both incredible movies, and I can't wait for Maxine to come out, and that's going to be a great movie. I'm really excited for Maxine to come out in a few months from now. And last but not least, of the Blu-rays, we have the whole Rocky collection, Sylvester Stallone Rocky collection. And this is all, what is it, 8 movies? 6, 7, 8 movies? I forget how many Rocky movies are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. All 6 movies. So you have Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, and Rocky Balboa. So you have all Rocky movies here. And it's great because I already have the Creed trilogy over there in my Blu-rays. So, you know, I finally have the whole collection. Pretty sure that's the whole collection, basically all 9 movies with the 3 Creed, yeah. So yeah, pretty happy to have this. Now to hop onto the DVDs, and first off we have here is from the dollar store again, and this is Martinu, and this is a movie that I've kind of heard stuff on and off about as being a really good action movie, like karate or like a really good martial arts movie. I've always heard this about this movie Martinu, and I forget who the actor is here. Does it say here? Iko Uwais. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Iko Uwais. People say that he was really great in this movie, and that this was like his breakout performance. I'm not sure if he's done more stuff in his native country. I'm not sure if he's Chinese or Korean or Japanese or maybe Filipino or whatever, but like from his native country, I think he's done a lot more work in his native country. Yeah, a lot of people say that this is a really great martial arts movie, especially in recent decades. Even I'm pretty sure this came out like 10 years ago, maybe even more. 2009. So yeah, but again, we don't get that many martial arts movies as is, so just to have one that's really good is really great. Yeah, I can't really think of any other martial arts movies recently that have come out. I mean, there's the Raid movies, but I think that's even older than this, at least the first one. And I remember there's like a Bruce Lee biopic that came out like around the pandemic, I want to say, or some, I don't remember if it was like before or after the pandemic, but I remember there's like an Enter the Dragon Bruce Lee biopic movie, kind of, that came out. I remember it bombed. I remember that much. It bombed critically, and probably bombed financially, but if it came out during the pandemic, then no shit, it bombed financially, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I remember that. Past that, I can't remember any other martial arts movies. I guess the John Wick movies, because Gun Fu, but, you know, but straight martial arts, I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I can't really think of anything. Next up, we have 2 Sam Elliott movies, a double feature, and here we have I Will Fight No More Forever, and Dog Watch. And yeah, Sam Elliott, I feel, is like an actor that's usually supporting, so I'm assuming these are two movies where he's the lead character. The only Sam Elliott movie I can think of right from the top of my head that I know I've seen is A Star Is Born. That's the only movie I can think of from the top of my head that he's in. I'm sure I've seen him in other stuff. I'm like almost positive. I can't think of anything right now. But yeah, just to have two of his movies, great, you know. And this is also a dollar store pickup, so why not? 2 for the price of 1. Next up, I have Chuck, Liev Schreiber, and just another boxing movie. Why not? Again, dollar store pickup. Why not? Honestly, that's the thing with dollar store. Why not? Go figure. Speaking of which, A Private War from dollar store. Why not? Next up, we have The Larry Sanders Show, again from the dollar store, and this is the first 2 seasons, seasons 1 and 2. And not gonna lie, from like this image, I thought this was like an actual talk show, so I actually had to search it up, The Larry Sanders Show. And this has like 6-7 seasons in it, so that's pretty cool. Again, this is a dollar store, so to just get this for $1, why not? Honestly, and you know, check it out, see if I like it, and go from there. If I like it, I'll pick up the rest of the series, you know, or try to. So the last of the dollar store pickups I have here is Dr. Foster, and this is a British TV miniseries, question mark. It's one of those things, I think it started off initially as a miniseries. It was so successful that they made a sequel miniseries afterwards. And I think this is season 1 or series 1 or whatever, from what I understand, because there's only 2 seasons, series, whatever. And just the plot from behind here on the back, it just sounded very interesting, so I really wanted to pick it up. Again, the one thing I wanted to make sure is that I'm picking up the first season or the first series or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I am. I'm pretty sure I am from what I've seen, so... You know, it sounds interesting. Like, it sounds like a pretty interesting thriller miniseries. And yeah. So the next 3 things I'm going to show you, my sister actually gave them to me. One of them was actually already mine. I just didn't realize that she had taken it. So go figure. And then the other 2, it's more one of those things that really my parents owned it. And then we kind of just got it over time. And I guess for some reason my sister got these 2 things instead of me, who collects the movies, and she's like, here, just have them, you know. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is Frosty the Snowman. So yeah, Frosty the Snowman is a staple for me in during Christmas. I love watching it. And I guess I didn't realize I didn't have it this past Christmas, because I don't remember watching Frosty the Snowman this past Christmas, if I'm being honest. It was just, now that I'm really thinking about it, because usually I would take it out from wherever it is here in the collection and pop it in the DVD player and watch it during Christmas, but I don't recall watching it. And if I did, it was probably on YouTube then. Yeah, I don't remember that, but yeah, I guess she took it at some point and I just didn't notice. And then the next 2 things here that I have here are the Looney Tunes Spotlight Collections Volumes 1 and 2. Both of them. I do have a movie collection of Looney Tunes here as well, so it's like the whole collection here, so to speak. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, just Looney Tunes, can't go wrong with it. It's always great. Hell yeah. And then yeah, stick with the animated stuff. Like the last 4 things here are animated stuff. They're all from Walmart, and they all involve a dog. So the first one, it's Courage the Cowardly Dog, the complete series. And honestly, this is one of the creepiest shows sometimes. It's one of those things like you could get scarred from it. You could get scarred from it. And it's just great to have the whole collection now, the whole series. All 52 episodes. Again, I think I said this in my last haul when I was talking about the Danny Phantom collection. I mean, I didn't realize that this was just 52 episodes. You know, sometimes I forget that these animated series aren't as long as I think sometimes, because I'm remembering them from my childhood. And, you know, when you're a child, you really don't have a concept of time, or you don't really have a concept of how many episodes there is, or whatever. So I guess I didn't realize it was 52 episodes. Again, I highly doubt I've seen all 52 episodes. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but again, not that I'd remember. If I'm being honest, I don't really remember this series all that well. Like, I remember the iconic moments, if I'm being honest, like with the what is he, a scarecrow or like a demon or whatever, that he's talking to Courage in like the void or like the desert where they live in the middle of nowhere. He's like doo 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 doo. I forget what he's talking about. You know, there's also the one where like the computer is trying to like kill Courage, or like he's trying to manipulate Courage. I remember there's an episode in with the mummies, or like in a pyramid, so there's stuff like that, you know. So, and then of course Eustace always trying to kill fucking Courage. So yeah, really great. Also, I think this was in the finale. I think this is like the final episodes, I'm not sure, but there's also an episode where it shows Courage's parents and why they left him. And maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I think they got like shipped off into space by the evil duck, you know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just misremembering. But yeah, honestly, a very trippy show. Can't wait to go back and view it and watch it and just be scarred all over again. And then the next three things are basically all the same dog, and that is Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? No, what's a new Scooby-Doo coming after you? Okay, here. What's your favorite Scooby-Doo song? Like, across everything, whether it be from the shows or the movies, what's your favorite Scooby-Doo song? Just like, Terror Time Again? Yeah, definitely has to be up there. But no, back to this. So yeah, this is Scooby-Doo and Dynamite, and honestly, this is one of the shows I haven't seen, one of the few Scooby-Doo shows I haven't seen even a single episode of. So it's just really cool to have it, and this is the complete series. Plus 3 episodes from the Scooby-Doo Dynamite show, because this is the Scooby-Doo and Dynamite hour. And then here it says 3 episodes from the Scooby-Doo Dynamite show. So I guess there's a difference between that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, pretty cool to have this. Next up, I have What's a New Scooby-Doo Coming After You. So yeah, and this is the complete series. And I'll be honest, this series to me is just a little bit forgettable. I've seen the entire series. Like, I binge watched it during the pandemic. And I saw every single episode because it was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix, but it was on Netflix. The entire show was on Netflix. But if I'm being honest, I don't remember any episode from here. The only episode I remember, it's the one where they're in the jungle and they have like glowing animals. That's the only one I remember. That and like the baseball one where they're like at a baseball stadium. I can't really remember any other episodes. I can't think of any other episodes that were there. Not that I'm trying to think. Not that I remember. I think there's one like in Mexico, but I also don't want to confuse that with the Monster of Mexico movie. So I'm not really sure about that one. So, and there's one in Antarctica. I'm pretty sure there's like one in Antarctica. Maybe not Antarctica, but like in a snow place or a very snowy place, and they have to like go against a Yeti or something like that. But yeah, I'll be honest, like, this series is just very forgettable for me. As much as I like it, as much as I have fun with it, as much as the theme song is amazing, this series is honestly kind of forgettable for me, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. That being said, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is not forgettable for me, for the most part. Here's the thing, I was looking at the series and looking at where the episodes lie, because there's only about 2 seasons. There's only 2 seasons of this show. And the more memorable aspects of the show really just come from season 1. You know, that's where you get stuff like the Minor 49er, the clown, you know, the robot, the creeper, for example. You know, that's where there's like other stuff like the pterodactyl. I think the pterodactyl is, actually now think about it, is the pterodactyl even from the series? I know there's I forget what his name is, but like the Chinese mask one with his 2 goons. I know that's season 2. I think that's the season 2 premiere. So yeah, but like most of the memorable monsters actually come from season 1. So it's very interesting to have season 2 almost basically be like a blind spot. Is the gorilla from season 2, or is that from a different Scooby-Doo series? I mean, I'm trying to think if that and the pterodactyl are from season 2 or from a different Scooby-Doo series. But yeah, so that's what I have here. So that's basically part 1 of this haul. I have a bunch more movies coming in, so I'll do part 2 in a couple. You'll see part 2 pretty soon. So we'll just cut down to that right now. All right, so this is part 2 of this haul, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do a part 3, maybe even a part 4, depending because of how long this is gonna take to film across all this month, because of, again, the schedule for the rest of the videos. But yeah, here I'm gonna have a little bit of fun and basically do an unboxing for this one. And yeah, funny story, I guess, about this and another package that I got recently. They're being sent to the wrong house, essentially. They're being sent to my dad's house instead of my mom's house. And what happened is, I just found out, it's the fact that, you know how on a computer you do an autofill? I guess the autofill is, for some reason, usually the autofill does my mom's house, but for some reason it's not doing my mom's house. And now, like, it forgot the address of my mom's house, and it's going to my dad's house. So that's the thing, and my whole collection is at my mom's house, not my dad's house. So here we have it, and this is actually from Horror Pack. And for those who don't know, Horror Pack, not sponsored by the way, not sponsored, but Horror Pack is this subscription-based website service distributor, I guess you could say, where every month, if you pay a certain amount, they'll send you 4 to 5 movies, with one of them being like an exclusive movie or an exclusive like slipcover or like something exclusive to Horror Pack itself. And so for me doing that, I like the idea of it. I just don't have the money for it because it's actually rather expensive in my opinion. Even for a monthly basis, it's expensive, and preferably I wouldn't want to do just a monthly basis. I'd want to do a whole year, but for that's kind of expensive. But the great thing about Horror Pack, it's the fact that they do have their whole backlog there. So if you missed a movie from the last one, for example, or if you want to get a movie or another copy of a movie from a previous month, you could buy it there and just go from there. And that's basically what I did. I bought a bunch of their backlog titles. The other interesting thing I find, it's the fact that they're called Horror Pack. So predictably, they'd be based with horror movies or thrillers or mysteries, stuff like that. But no, they also have a huge selection of just animated movies, or a lot of anime movies, for example, or just comedies, straight comedies, or just stuff that is not horror. And that's what I picked up. I picked a bunch of the stuff that isn't horror, because honestly, that's the stuff that really attracted me. A lot of their non-horror titles, a lot of their animated titles. So yeah, this is going to be a very animated heavy haul across all these little clips. So let's get to actually unboxing this very fast. So you know what I just thought about? You know in Blue's Clues how when he gets mail, he sings that little song? You know, we just got a letter, we just got a letter, or a package, we just got a package. Let's see what's inside. Ah! Yeah, so let's open it up very fast. Box cutter. And I picked up 10 movies, I think. Or yeah, I think I picked up about 10 or just slightly over 10 stuff. So yeah, and although I do remember what's in here, it's one of those things I half remember what I got. And so a lot of the animated titles, I don't necessarily remember their titles. It's stuff that I've heard of course, in the past, but I don't necessarily remember what I got. So this is how it's going to be kind of a surprise thing. Oh my gosh, yeah, I did pick that up. And then a lot of this stuff here, cool. Let me just put that to the side. And okay, cool. They're coming in their own individual packages and sleeves. So yeah, this is gonna be very fun. So you have what, 3, 4 of these things here. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just put that here. Okay, and then put the box there to the side. All right, so let's see what we have here. The first package that we have here. So a bunch of movies. Clear that out. And then what do we have here? Alright, so I think this is the only DVD thing I got here, and this is the Monster Movie Mashup, 7 movies, and the movies it includes here are Night of the Living Dead, Count Dracula and His Vampires, Nightmare Castle, The Devil's Nightmare, The She-Beast, Snow Beast, and The Werewolves versus the Vampire Women. So I think I already have Night of the Living Dead 10 times over in different collections, great. And I'm pretty sure I have The She-Beast in a different collection. Every single other movie here I've haven't heard of, or a combination of both. Maybe Snow Beast. I think I may have Snow Beast actually now I think about it, but I'm not completely sure. But yeah, 7 movies, 7 classic horror movies, B movies. Great to have, and I'm pretty sure this is the only DVD I got. I'm pretty sure everything else is just Blu-rays. So here we go. Alright, next up we have The Hands That Feed the Dead, Klaus Kinski. And yeah, I basically picked this up because of Klaus Kinski. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it during my 300th video special, but I basically binge watched all of the Klaus Kinski, Werner Herzog movies that they did together, plus the documentary, because they got the whole collection. And Klaus Kinski is just a very, I guess, that word, magnetic, enigmatic for sure, but magnanimous actor. I'm not sure if that's even the right word. He's just an actor that draws you in. And yes, he was a terrible person, especially with what came out after he died from his family, but his performances were just stunning, in my opinion. So yeah, just seeing what he could do outside of Werner Herzog movies, because I've heard even on other sets he was a mess to work with. He was a pain in the ass to work with, and I don't know if it's this movie. I'm pretty sure it's not this movie, but there is a movie that he did where the director really was actually considering killing him. And it's not just Herzog. This is I feel like every single director that worked with Klaus Kinski at one point or another did consider to kill him, if I'm being honest. But yeah, honestly, I just got this because of Klaus Kinski. Oh, next up, speaking of Night of the Living Dead, but this is the animated movie. So yeah, they did make an animated movie, and honestly, that's why I picked it up. And why not? And then speaking of animated movies, we have The Breadwinner. So this was on Netflix for some time. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix, if I'm being honest, but this was such a great movie when I saw it. I'm pretty sure Angelina Jolie's the executive producer right there. It says right there. Not sure if you can see it because of the lighting, but yeah. And I really like this movie. It got nominated for Best Oscar for best animated feature, I think it lost to like Spider-Verse, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm not sure, but it didn't win. And honestly, this is a really great movie. The ending honestly kind of hits me because I almost didn't expect the ending to it, and it's a positive ending. It's a good ending. It's like a happy ending. I just didn't expect it to end in a happy ending. I honestly expected it to be like almost a bittersweet or just a sad, tragic ending, and it wasn't that. It was honestly a happy ending, given the circumstances of what happens inside this movie or the plot of this movie. So yeah, really great. And here we have Nebraska, and this is a movie I've been meaning to watch for some time, honestly. Especially because it's been mentioned a few times in a few podcasts I listen to, and yeah, just because of that, I really want to watch it. It's one that I've always been wanting to watch. So, and now that I've been hearing it a lot more because of the podcast I listen to, it's honestly, it's one of those things like, why not? All right, let's see, package number 2, more Blu-rays, and what do we have here? Okay, next up, I Kill Giants. This is a movie I've heard a lot of stuff about, some good, some bad. It's been mostly mixed, but it's one of those things I just want to check it out for myself, just to get an idea of it. And that's Zoe Saldana, which is, she's Gamora from the MCU, and some of the producers of Harry Potter, so I think just those two things really intrigued me, so I'm like, why not? And speaking of Harry Potter, Moonwalkers. So this is one of Rupert Grint's like post Harry Potter roles. He hasn't really done that much work outside of Harry Potter, especially afterwards. I know he did a few music videos for Ed Sheeran, so there's that. But yeah, I saw this when this first came out, and honestly, I really enjoyed this movie when it first came out. Like, I thought it was a lot of fun. It's just very funny. It's a type of comedy movie that you just don't. It's a type of comedy movie that I think you just don't expect it to hit the way it did. If I'm being honest, it's just kind of a different comedy movie than what's expected. It's a lot of British humor, if I'm being honest. It's a lot of like British humor stuff. But honestly, I really liked it, and it's just very funny. It's very funny, so that's why I picked it up. Okay, back to the animated stuff. We have Phantom Boy, and honestly, I'll be honest, I basically picked up a lot of their animated titles. That's what I mean. Animated titles, even if I've never heard of them that well or don't know much about it. And Phantom Boy, it's one that I've heard about, but I don't know jack shit about it. So why not? Next up, speaking of animated stuff, we have April and the Extraordinary World. And again, another movie I've heard a lot of stuff about, but if I'm being honest, I don't know anything about the plot, so it's going to be very fun. And again, it's animated, and that's the thing, animation is my favorite genre of movies. So yeah, that's why I picked it up. So I always try to build up my animated section when it comes to movies. And then the last stuff we have here is To Your Last Death. To Your Last Death. This is another animated movie, and honestly, the way this was advertised on the website was kind of gave me hesitation for a bit because it just said the slipcover. Like a lot of the titles, like here, I'll use Phantom Boy. A lot of titles were like, "Hey, this movie with the slipcover," but there was also stuff that was like, "We're just saying the slipcover." And the way they were advertising this, it's like it almost made it seem like they're just selling the slipcover. And I'm like, hold up, what? So I picked it up, hoping that I'd get the movie, and I did get the movie. So yeah. And then here we have Crimes of the Future. So yeah, we have Crimes of the Future. Honestly, I saw this when it first came out, and I thought it was really good. But it is one I need to rewatch because I don't think I fully not realized it, but like I fully figured it out. But then again, it's Cronenberg, David Cronenberg, so you don't really need to figure it out right off the bat, oftentimes, because of how he works. But honestly, it has some great imagery. You have the guy with the ears all over his body right there. So I mean, it's really great. And I wish this would have been nominated for like the best makeup effects, makeup and hairstyling at the Oscars, but that just was never going to happen. But it would have been great. And there is something missing. There's something missing. Hold up. Let me double check this. Okay, yeah, there is something missing. I knew I wasn't tripping. So they missed out on one of my things that I now need to contact them for. Good thing I recorded this in case of evidence. But on their website, they were also selling the Us Steelbook Blu-ray, and that is not here. And yeah, that's honestly very disappointing. I really wanted that Steelbook. And I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Us. I have a lot of issues with that movie. I honestly feel like Jordan Peele, he's a good director, but I feel like he peaked with Get Out, and it's kind of just gotten progressively worse, so to speak. Granted, that's not to say like he's making shit movies. Like Us is still a really ambitious and great film, and I think Nope, if I'm being honest, Nope is better than Us, but this was like that by like that much. It's like by barely, if I'm being honest. I still think Get Out is his best movie. But I really wanted that Us Steelbook regardless. I thought it would look really cool. And it's one of those things like, regardless, I still do want to check out Us again. And it's not here. And now I'm very disappointed. So now I need to contact them. So, damn. I don't know. Hopefully they send it in the mail again. But, I guess we'll see that in a next part. Let's see what else I have in this haul. Next day, going now. Okay, so it's next day actually. So yeah, so I did email Horror Pack about the missing Blu-ray for Us, the Steelbook for Us, and hopefully they get back to me soon. Um, I just find it a little bit weird. One, that didn't come in general. I just find that to be weird, and I wanted to double check the receipt. The thing is, I don't have the receipt on me. Like, you know how when you buy something, usually it comes with a receipt. I didn't check if there's a receipt. I'm back at my mom's house right now. So I asked my dad when he gets back from work if he can go into my room and check either the box or maybe the trash can that's there in my room and check for the receipt to make sure it is there on the order, because it's there online. I just want to double check that it is there on the order, on the receipt, and yeah, so just to figure that out even further. So that was yesterday or last night, because that was like basically during midnight when that happened. Yeah, I'm gonna basically continue with the haul right now, and as I said, I'm at my mom's house now. So right now I have 2 DVDs and 5 Blu-rays to show off right now. 3 of the stuff that I have here are from Amazon, and then the other 4 stuff here I have are from Shout Factory / Scream Factory. I just found out, and I guess I should have realized this, but Shout Factory is the parent company, and Scream Factory is their line or their subsidiary that's specifically geared towards horror movies. So I actually just found that out earlier today for the first time. I guess I finally realized that because I always found it weird that you have Scream Factory and Shout Factory. So like, why is there 2 of them? And we know it's the same thing, but why is there the 2 of them? You know, why is it interchangeable? And yeah, so just decided to look that up, and that's why. So yeah, so that's what we have here. I'm gonna start off with DVDs, which are both from Amazon. And the first one here I have is the Roger Corman Drive-In Collection, and this is volume 1 or 2. I already have another collection like this. That's another volume. And yeah, for those who don't know, Roger Corman died last month, I want to say, or the month before that, like a month and a half ago. And yeah, I mean, it was a huge loss. I was kind of in shock when I found out he died. It's one of those things, like, he wasn't, at least for me as a filmmaker and me as a movie watcher, at least for me personally, he wasn't the most influential person. Like, I do recognize that his work is influential when it comes to movies at large. But I'll be honest, I just haven't seen that much of his work. So that's why I bought this, just to see more of his work in general. And I do have another collection that's like this. Like, I think I have like volume 2, because it's like volume 1, volume 2 type of stuff. So yeah, that's why I got this essentially. And this has Beast from Haunted Cave, The Wild Ride, The Fast and the Furious, T-Bird Gang, and High School Big Shot. Yeah, you heard that right. The Fast and the Furious. Now, of course, it has nothing to do with Vin Diesel Fast and the Furious, but you know, it's this. And I find it interesting, and I knew this to an extent, but I kind of forget this as well, because I feel like Roger Corman in general, similar to, like, let's say John Carpenter, he's a name. It's a name that's just so tied down to one genre, horror, that you kind of forget that he's done other stuff, other films in different genres. So, you know, Fast and Furious and T-Bird Gang, these are like all of these I'm looking at, and these are all basically high school movies. Aside from The Beast from Haunted Cave, the other 4 of these are basically high school movies, and 3 of them, from what I can tell, are car movies at that. So, like, think of like Grease, where it's like a car movie. In that sense, The Big Shot, I can't really tell if it's a car movie, but it's definitely a high school movie. So yeah, pretty cool. Next up, I have Malicious, and this is the other DVD that I got. And the only reason I got this was because I have a friend who's in this film, Danilo Roca, who I've worked with on several projects. I worked with them on Sick Minded and Spending Some Time Together. He's in this film in a supporting role, and that's honestly why I got it, just to support him in his career a bit, and to see what he's done outside of the work that I've done with him. So yeah, that's honestly why I picked it up. And from what I've seen, it's always interesting to see reviews for indie feature films, because it's always mixed. It's always mixed reviews, and it's one of those things that the people who give it the positive reviews are usually people who know the filmmakers or the actors in the film, and then the people who usually give it negative reviews are just like the general audiences. So in a very so basically, from what I've seen, this has mixed reviews. We can also tell, like, oh, the reason this person gave it a positive review is because they can clearly tell, you can clearly tell that they know the filmmaker, they know the actors. So I wonder how I'm going to react to this. Either way, at the very least, I know right off the bat that Danilo is going to give a great performance. Again, I've worked with him in the past. He's a great actor, so I'm excited to see this when I eventually do. So those are 2 Amazon movies, DVDs. I have one more Amazon Blu-ray here, and that is Ikari XB1. And this is a Czech film, and funny story with this movie, in a lot of ways, I can credit this movie specifically for helping me network within the South Florida industry. And what I mean by this is that when I used to be like the social media director for MISIFI, Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival, social media director, kind of, it's more like I was doing the interviews for them. It's more like that, and that was alongside my series that I had at the time, An Interview With. That's what it was called, An Interview With. And there was one day where there was like a private event for just the management or the board for the festival, where they were showing a private screening of this movie. But they also had other people from like just the industry at large who came in. And one of those people was the person who ran the 48-hour film challenge at that time. And honestly, I credit the fact that I went to that screening for this movie a lot for helping me break into this industry, break into the industry here, because had I not gone to this screening, I really wouldn't have had the connections that I did build up in this industry because of that. It kind of had like that ripple effect. So yeah, the one bad thing that I just kind of noticed is the fact that it is chipped there, and you kind of, I'm not sure if you can hear, but you can kind of hear it, the thing there. So I literally just noticed that, and wow. Again, Amazon just having shit packaging sometimes. This is completely broken. Holy crap. What the hell? Jesus Christ. I honestly don't remember much about this movie, if I'm being honest, because I saw it, give or take, 2016, 2017, I want to say. I was definitely still in high school when I first saw this. Oh, and it says this has like a little booklet to it too, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, and it's almost like Criterion, honestly, where it has like information about the movie itself. So yeah, but honestly, I don't remember much about it. I know a lot of people consider this to be a very influential film in general, especially when it comes to like sci-fi movies and like Czech cinema. A lot of people says that it influenced Star Wars, for example, in 2001. So I'm excited to see it. I just kind of wish the case wasn't broken like a motherfucker. Holy shit! What the, like the last time I ordered something from Amazon, this was like the issue too. If you guys remember, with the whole Chucky case and Pierre Ati, right? The Pierre Ati Criterion Collection. Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on with Amazon right now? I'm not, and the shipping envelope, container, whatever you want to call it, that came in didn't appear damaged. So this was, I guess, a seller issue. The one thing I'm kind of scared about for this film, it's the fact that this, I'm hoping it's a region free DVD or a region A DVD or whatever region I'm from, because usually when you see like this, like that, like a triangle rating or stuff like that, like when the rating's like in a triangle, that's a clear sign that's from a different region. So that's the one thing I'm kind of worried about, that hopefully I just didn't waste money on this. It's a pretty cool Blu-ray, like with the clear case. I will say that much. But I'll probably pop this in pretty soon just to make sure I can watch it. So I'm excited to give this a look again and go from there, because again, a lot of people say that's a very influential movie in terms of just sci-fi movies and how it inspired Kubrick with 2001 and Lucas with Star Wars, and yeah, they consider this to be one of the most influential sci-fi movies of all time. So I'm really excited to get back into this and watch it. So yeah, those are all the Amazon stuff. So these 3 things here were all from Amazon, and then the next 4 things here I got are from Shop Factory, Scream Factory, basically the same thing like I said beforehand. And the first thing we have here is Night Creatures. This is a movie I've been looking for some time. But here's the thing, I'll be honest, I don't know jack shit about this movie. The reason I've been looking for this movie for some time is honestly has to do just with the poster art, the cover art right here. Oh, cool, you can see my reflection right there. Hi. But yeah, it's honestly because of this, the art work here in the front. I've seen that poster so many times. It's such an interesting poster. I really like the poster, or the artwork, or whatever you want to call it. And that's honestly why I picked it up. And just a fun fact: all the movies here, these 4 movies, actually came from their recent Hammer sale. So I was gonna pick up a few other movies. I was planning on picking up about 7 or 8 movies, but the thing is that how the nature of the sale went, a lot of these movies just became unavailable very fast because people were buying it left, right, and center. So at the end, I only managed to get these 4. I'm still happy that I managed to get these 4, but I just do wish I could have gotten just a little bit more. But that being said, Night Creatures is the first one from this list here. And again, it's one that I've been looking forward to for some time, just based off the imagery of the poster. You can definitely just read the back. And I find it interesting, like, because with this cover, I do not expect it to do with, like, the Revolution or anything. Like, I haven't even read what it says in the back. So probably do that later, but yeah, go figure. Next up, we have Phantom of the Opera, the Hammer film version of it again. I'm a theater major, I'm a theater person, so, you know, just the general story of Phantom of the Opera, it's something that's always there, you know, with, like, Andrew Lloyd Webber. It is Webber, right? Is it Webber or Sondheim? Right there, you'll know which one. You know, just Phantom of the Opera is it's just a story that's been ubiquitous within pop culture, especially in theater with with the musical. And this is one that, just the story of itself, Phantom of the Opera itself, it's one that really blew up last year, I want to say, especially when the musical was taken off of Broadway, when it finally finished its run on Broadway after God knows how many decades, essentially. So, you know, because of that, it really got a boost. I'm pretty sure it's still being shown on the West End, for example, and a bunch of other places, but yeah, last year it got taken off of Broadway. And I remember that was a huge hit to a lot of people, because a lot of people loved that musical. I'm pretty sure it was last year. If not, it was the year before. But I'm almost positive it was last year. Yeah, and I do have the silent film version of Phantom of the Opera in one of my collections somewhere here. And I do have the 2004-2005 musical with Gerard Butler, which apparently a lot of people think that's a bad movie because Gerard Butler can't sing. I don't really understand it. But then again, I'm not really a musical guy. That being said, I have another version of Phantom of the Opera, really cool. It's the Hammer version, really great, and can't wait to see it. Next up, we have The Curse of the Werewolf, and honestly, I just picked this up to kind of build up my werewolf movies. I don't really have that many werewolf movies in my collection. I have the original Wolfman, the Universal Monster Wolfman. I have Teen Wolf. I have Wolf, the Jack Nicholson movie Wolf, and I'm pretty sure I have a few other, like, random little werewolf movies in a bunch of my horror collections. I'm sure I have stuff there, but, like, I feel like werewolf movies is just a genre of horror movies that isn't, I don't know, given its due. It's the right way to word it, but, like, I just don't feel like there's that many werewolf movies in general. And so it's always great to pick one up, because, like, you always have vampire movies, you always have zombie movies, for example, but werewolf movies, I feel like they're very few and far between, in my opinion. So every time you see a werewolf movie, you should always pick it up. American Werewolf in London. There's another one I have. American Werewolf in London. So that's honestly why I picked it up, and it sounded interesting. And I'm pretty sure this is part of, like, a series that they had at the time. I'm not sure if this is the first one or like the 5th one or whatever the hell. But yeah, this may also be part of a series, because I saw that a lot of their stuff that they had there during the Hammer sale was, like, stuff from, like, different series. Like, so they were selling stuff from the Dracula series, for example. I remember that much. I did try to pick up one of the Dracula movies that they had, but again, that got sold out very fast. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure this may be part of a series, but I'm not completely sure. And last but not least, we have Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. And yeah, honestly, just a Jekyll and Hyde story. Found it interesting. I've never seen any version of Jekyll and Hyde, to be honest. Whether it be the musical, funny enough, there is a musical of Jekyll and Hyde, which is really good. I haven't even listened to music to be honest. But I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the original films or anything like that. So this would be the first time I've ever seen anything like this when it comes to Jekyll and Hyde. And I find it interesting that Sister Hyde, so he literally does turn into a woman, and from the description, from what I've seen, it's like he becomes a murderous woman. I wonder if this would be the type of movie that gets canceled nowadays because of, like, some trans thing, you know, like, oh, they're making fun of transgender people or something like that. So I'm kind of curious if this is the type of movie that'll be like, in current day, it'll be, like, offensive now to some people. It is what it is after certain points, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this, and I actually showed this to a friend. Like, I told him, like, oh, look what I got, and I had to explain to him, yeah, this is what this movie's about, because he was like, Sister Hyde, what the hell? So yeah, that's what I got so far. And I just want to show off this very fast as well, because I am at my mom's house now. I also brought basically the stuff from my dad's house. So yeah. And just to show off everything that I got this weekend, essentially, that's everything that I have here, from 3 DVDs and I don't know how many Blu-rays, but that's everything that I got here. Just to go over it very fast, we have Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, The Curse of the Werewolf, The Phantom of the Opera, Night Creatures, Ikari 6B1, April and the Extraordinary World, The Hand That Feeds the Dead, Night of the Animated Dead, The Breadwinners, Nebraska, I Kill Giants, Moonwalkers, Phantom Boy, To Your Last Dead, Crimes of the Future, the 7-movie mashup collection, Monster Movie Mashup Collection, and Malicious and the Roger Corman Driving Collection. So that's everything I've gotten this weekend, essentially. And like I said, I'm still going to continue recording this in parts. So we'll see when the next part is, essentially. Again, I'm probably not going to post this until basically mid to late June, based off the posting schedule. So yeah, that's what I have so far. A bunch of movies that I just have to record this again because of the nature of the other videos I'm doing at the moment that I'm also recording simultaneously alongside this one. And I want to put away these movies as fast as I can so it doesn't interfere with the rest of the videos. So yeah, let's see what happens next in the next part. Alright, just wanted to give this very quick update. It literally happened not even like a minute after I just finished the video, but as I said before, I emailed Horror Pack, so I'm pretty sure I said this, but I emailed Horror Pack about the Us Steelbook. The fact that they didn't send it with my order, I emailed them about that, like, hey, I got an incomplete order. This is what's missing. Here's everything else I got. Blah 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 blah. And literally 10, 15 seconds after I finished recording what I just recorded, I just got an email, and it says, I'm just reading it here from my computer. It says, "Hi Daniel, my apologies for the mix-up. I will get with the shipping department tomorrow morning, and we will get this disc shipped out to you ASAP. Thanks for letting us know, Jenny." So thank you, Jenny, for responding to the email. So yeah, that's just a quick update. So I should be getting it sometime next week, hopefully. Let's go. Okay, very fast. Let's just test out if Ikari is from this region. Hopefully I can play it on this, and we'll see. So let's put that there. Let me grab the remote for the TV. So yeah, a little bit of mess right there because I'm donating clothes at the moment, so I need to sort through some clothes. So there we go. And hell yeah, it is playing. This Blu-ray includes soundtrack, private use only. Yeah. Fair use, I guess. We'll see. Second run, that was the name of the distributor or the seller, the company. So yeah. And then let's see, hopefully it plays now. It should play, to be honest. I just want to see like title screen if it goes directly into the movie. No, yeah. Play film. So we have play film. Let's see. I'm not actually going to play it right now. I'll probably watch it later, but scene selection, setup, special features. That's the special features right there. So yeah, this is actually a Soviet film, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that beforehand. This is actually from the Soviet time, Soviet era. So it's gonna be it's a Russian film essentially. So how do I get out of here? Oh, what did I just press? I don't know what I just pressed, but there we go. I'm just gonna go back to the menu. Main menu. So yeah, it works. Cool. Oh, that's. I want to go to the setup very fast. Setup. Let's see. So English subtitles. Yeah, of course I'd have them on. Cool, and then scene selection. Just maybe how many scenes here? 12 or so 12 parts. So yeah. Just one last thing I want to say before I clip this, because I don't think I mentioned it earlier. But when I went to watch this, this was for an event for Misi Fee essentially. Let me put the volume here. Let me lower the volume. So this was an event for Misi Fee, like I said, with management. But the funny thing is that they let me bring a +1, and I actually brought Carlos Pino, which is one of my best friends, and he's a collaborator of mine in several of my projects. I actually produced Churi, which was his directorial debut, and I starred in it as well. Not only is he a friend, but he's also a collaborator, so it's really cool that I got to share that experience with him. And we've often talked about this movie, like, oh, it'd be so cool to see it again, blah, blah, blah. And for like the longest time, we actually forgot what the hell the name of this movie was until we eventually found it. Because it does go by another name. I don't remember what it is called right now. Like, I think it's like Journey into Space or something like that. But you know, it's right there. I'm correcting myself as is right now. But it does go by another name. And yeah, we eventually got this, and I actually just showed him a picture, like, yo, man, look what I just got, and he's like, oh my gosh, cool, it's that film, hell yeah. So we're just talking about that right now too. So I just want to do this quick clip as well, and yeah, now let's see what we get next. All right, so I just got another email from Horror Pack, and yesterday I told you guys how I received an email for them in regards to the Us Steelbook, and how it wasn't shipped with my original package. And I emailed them saying, hey, this is an incomplete order, blah, blah, blah. And they emailed me yesterday saying, hey, yeah, we'll figure it out. And we'll give you the movie. You know what I mean? We'll send you the movie. And I just got another email from them, and it turns out they are out of stock of that item. So they're going to give me a refund. So there's that. That sucks, honestly, because I was really excited to see, one, for the steelbook in general, because I thought it was a pretty cool steelbook. I'll show a picture of here right now of how that steelbook looks like. And I thought it was a pretty cool steelbook. And even though I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, I still wanted to rewatch it again just to see if my opinions on it changed since it first came out. I'll be honest, just the main issue I have with that movie, it's just some of the gaps in logic, I guess you could say, or like, I forget what the proper term for it is, but like, there's just so much stuff that's kind of unbelievable to me that I just don't believe it. Like, how is there duplicates of everyone across the U.S., for example, or, you know, and especially if the experiments started in like the 80s, 70s, or 80s, how are there perfect copies of like even the people born after that time and all that stuff like that? Leaps in logic, that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Like, so some of those leaps in logic, I just can't. It just stretches my disbelief, or whatever, you know, whatever that proper terminology is. And that's really my issue with that movie. Just a lot of the leaps in logic I have to take in order to fully be invested into that story. I still think, you know, that being said, some of the story issues I may have aside, I still think there's a lot of great stuff to enjoy from that movie. I think overall it still is a good movie at the end of the day. I still debate over if it's Jordan Peele's weakest movie. Get Out is definitely his best movie, that's for sure. And then between this and Nope, Us and Nope, I'm not really sure which one's his weakest movie. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure which one's a weaker movie, because I think this one is a lot more ambitious. But because of some of the story elements, it's just, it kind of strains the believability of the story a lot. And I'm not the only person who has this issue. If anything, this is the one negative that this movie has gotten repeatedly. The fact that the story elements sometimes don't make sense. And that's why some people can't take it seriously. And then as opposed to Nope, where it's not really as ambitious, if you ask me. It's like, you know, it's even Jordan Peele's like, oh yeah, it's this version of Jaws, like Aliens and Jaws. That's what he wanted to do. And in that sense, it is a very fun, enjoyable popcorn summer movie, but it's one of those movies I also just, for me, it's like, yeah, that's fine. But I was kind of disappointed because it's not as ambitious as Us or as Get Out. And I think that's kind of my one little pet peeve with it, with Nope. Again, I'm very disappointed that I didn't get that movie. Hopefully I get it in the future, whether it just be the regular Blu-ray or a steelbook or whatever. And yeah, that's basically it. So just want to give you guys this quick update and go from there. Okay, so just one more update. This is a few hours after the last one I just gave you. And I was thinking, because I wanted to check their backlog just one more time to see if there's anything else I would like. And I was thinking, my thought process was, you know what, it's $10. Might as well see if there's anything else that maybe I could exchange it for. You know, since you don't have the steelbook, then can I just get this instead, if it's possible, right? And I was looking through their backlog, and they have a really great backlog. I'm not gonna lie, they have a really good backlog. Even like I said before, it is, even though they're called Horror Pack, they don't have, not everything they have there is horror movie related. But regardless, they still have a great backlog. And I was looking through their backlog, and there's a bunch of stuff I have on the wait list, I guess you could say. So, and they have, like I said, they have a bunch of stuff. And I saw two things. One of them is this collection pack, a Zombie Unbrained pack. And it contains 12 movies. And just to kind of give you an idea of what the movies are, it's 12 movies. And to be honest, one of the movies here, I'm like, is that really a zombie movie? But like, screw it as well. And the 12 movies here they have are Carnival of Souls, Dead Men Walk, Horrors of the Zombie, which actually goes by a different title when I searched it up, House of the Living Dead, King of the Dead, Last Man on Earth, which I may already have in a different collection pack, Mutant, Night of the Living Dead, because, of course, Oasis of the Zombies, which I think I already have in another collection pack, The Snake People, which I may have in another collection pack, Teenage Zombies, and White Zombie, which I for sure have in another collection pack. Funny enough with Night of the Living Dead. So yeah, The one here that I kind of question, because I've heard of some of these. Of course, I know Night of the Living Dead. Of course, I know White Zombie, for example. You know, and of course, if they have the word zombie in them, like Horrors of the Zombies or Teenage Zombie or House of the Living Dead or stuff like that, House of the Living Dead, that makes sense. The one here that I kind of question why it's here is Carnival of Souls. That's not really a zombie movie, if you ask me. And it's not even, like, focused on zombies. So that's the only one I kind of question why it's in this collection. I'm not going to complain either way, but that's the only one I kind of question why it's in this collection, because it's not really a zombie movie. And, like, the zombie action, so quote-unquote zombie action, doesn't really happen to, like, the last 10 minutes of the movie. And even then, I've never interpreted them as zombies, more like ghouls or like phantoms or like spirits or just haunting the carnival, so to speak. So I kind of find it weird that they're in this zombie section or in this zombie, not playlist, collection. So I do find that interesting. I'm not going to complain either way, but there is that. So I wanted to get that one, and then I also wanted to get Killer Movie. That's literally what it's called, Killer Movie. It's a movie from 2008. And just to kind of give you the plot description based off here, that says right here on IMDb, and it's a reality TV director copes with a spoiled celibate celebrity, I guess, and a show gone haywire when a mass killer starts bumping off the crew in this slasher movie satire. And, you know, it's fun to have these kind of fun, cheesy slasher movies. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So, and again, the Us Steelbook, it basically was $10, and the combination of these two, it's Killer Movie is basically $4, $3.99, and then the Zombie Collection is $5.99, so basically $6. So you know that's basically $10. So I asked, hey, can I just exchange this? But the thing is that they already gave me the refund. So I'm like, oh damn, you know, I guess I can't get it. But Jenny, really love Jenny. Jenny, if you're watching this, thank God you're a godsend. Honestly, this is the best customer service I've had when it comes to like these boutique stores. Like Scream Factory, Shout Factory, same thing from my opinion. Like they're pretty good. Same thing with Kino Lorber, but like, you're responding at a like basically within like an hour, sometimes even less, and it's just very professional. Also, I think that's my kind of frustration with Kino Lorber, Scream Factory, Shout Factory, especially. They kind of take their sweet ass time sometimes to respond, whereas this is like, oh, within like less than an hour. Like honestly, the only one that took longer than an hour for response was the very first response, because I sent that email like during midnight. You know what I mean? So of course they're not going to respond at like 1 a.m. I already got the notification that I got a refund on that, so I already got the $10. But she's like, hey, if you want, you could just buy that and we'll refund you the cash for the shipping and handling. We'll take we'll take that. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me just do that. So yeah, I'm gonna get those two movies: the Kill Movie from 2008, and then the Zombie Dead Undead Unbrained 12 film collection. So I'm going to do that. So again, just want to give you this quick update. And I kind of think that's the beauty of having to record this video across several days, over several weeks, over basically a month and a half, based on my posting schedule, because of all the other videos, I need to film before releasing this video, so you guys get to see the whole process. So there's that too. And yeah, we're going to go with that. So I'm going to order those two, and get the refund on the shipping and handling, which is probably like $6, I think, like probably like $3.99 for shipping and handling per movie or something like that. But I'm gonna get the refund on it, so that's good. And yeah, I'll keep you updated on what happens next, and hopefully my full order comes out this time, and I get everything. And yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, let's see what's next, starting now. So I just want to show you this very fast. The one little thing I have with this website, with HorrorPack, not sponsored by the way, is the fact that they don't really have like a wish list or like a put on hold list or like a wait list or anything like that, or like a save for me. So like if you want, so I have everything in my shopping carts, and these are all the movies I want. So I have that, the American Horror Stories 12 movie collection. So I'm gonna get these two. I'm gonna have to get these two, and then this is some of the other stuff I have here: Satanic Panic, Trick, The Gallows. I remember when this first came out, I didn't like it at all, but it's a movie that I've just thought about in like the past year or so. For some reason, it's a movie that I wanted to rewatch just to like get my updated thoughts on it. I don't know why this movie like had such a weird imprint on me or whatever. Like I had such like, because there's a lot of movies where like, yeah, I watched and it's like cool, whatever, but like for some reason, as bad as this movie was, it has a really weird ending if you've ever seen it. But for as weird and bad as this movie is, I just have a weird hankering to rewatch it again. So I'll have it here on the cart or wish list or whatever. Unsane, Dead Ant, Last of the Grads, the Dudek Panthalion, however you pronounce that. This is actually from the Duplass brothers, and there's some pretty decent filmmakers. They have some bunch of good movies that they've made. Spare Parts, Titan, Ingrid Goes West, Open 24 Hours, Kicking Blood, which sounded very interesting. Aeon Flux, the triple feature horror films with these movies, whatever those are: Scars, Terror Trap, and what's the last one there? Midnight Movie, Hilarious, which is an anthology film. So yeah, but again, since they don't have a wish list, what I'm basically gonna have to do is like delete them from my cart. So I just have the 2 movies here. Yeah, these 2 movies. So what I'll probably just do is like open each movie in a different tab very fast when I delete them, and go from and then add them again after I order these 2 movies. So yeah, just wanted to give that little quick update. Alright, so let's do another update that we have here for this movie collection. This may be the last update for a few weeks, for about the next 2 to 3 weeks, before I get some more movies. So right now I have 3 movies here, and just one other thing I want to show off that I think is pretty cool, that I think you guys should see. First off, I'm going to show you this. It's the Garfield double feature movie, or double feature collection. So as you guys saw in one of my previous videos, I actually portrayed Garfield. After the PR event for the new Garfield movie, the animated one that came out last month, I want to say, I was there. I went to a bunch of these talk shows, Spanish talk shows here in Miami, like Despierta America and Acceso Miami, and all these different talk shows. And you know, I was Garfield for a bit, you know. So I haven't seen these movies since essentially they came out. I vaguely remember them. You know, I know this one kind of, the second one like takes place in England, where he's like in a castle or something like that. And then this one I vaguely remember as well. You know, just something about like a train station at the very end. So like I vaguely remember these, to be honest. But yeah, that's why I wanted to come and check these out, just to buy these 2 and watch them and see, like, you know, the original Garfield movie, so to speak. And I know there's, of course, the original Garfield cartoons from way back in the day. They're, you know, they're like the Looney Tunes collections. They have like these big collections of just like Garfield shorts, animated short films, or animated short episodes, whatever. And you know, I could have gotten that, but I just wanted to see the movies in and of itself. They also apparently have a bunch of animated movies as well, like modern animated movies. Like the best comparison would be like the Barbie movies, like the animated Barbie movies or the animated Lego movies that are straight to DVD or straight to video. They also have a bunch of Garfield movies that are kind of like that. And there was a collection that I did consider getting, where it was like a 4-pack of these 2 movies with like the 2 better or well-known animated movies, and they cost about the same, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. But I just like, it's one of those things, I just looked at the trailers for the other 2 movies, and I'm like, I just really wasn't interested, if I'm being honest. And really, I was only looking for these 2. You know, maybe I made the wrong choice, but who cares? Honestly, the other thing that kind of did it for me, though, is I just like this cover, the cover art or whatever. It's a lot more cleaner, whereas the other one was like the 4-pack was just like a little bit messy, if I'm being honest. And yeah, the one bad thing is, and I'm not sure what the hell is going on with Amazon, and I'm not even sure if it's like an Amazon problem or like a seller problem, like the people who sold this to me problem. But like, just recently I've been getting a lot of like bad DVDs or like bad casings. Like this one has like the whole thing like removed, and that's been, I don't know why. Like, I've never had an issue with Amazon, and just like for the past month and a half, it's always been a new issue with Amazon. It's always been like the Chucky collection, I got it and it was just a disaster. If you guys saw that video, my last haul video, for example, that, or the Piertai collection, that was also kind of a disaster. Ikari, which you guys saw earlier in this video, that was also a disaster. Like, I don't know what's going on with some of these sellers, but like, they're just not taking care of this. Or I'm not sure if it's something going on in transit, but like, okay, I've never had issues with Amazon, and just in the past like month and a half to 2 months, it's like an issue with every single order that I get now, and I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so there's that. So that's the Amazon order. And then the next 2, it's going to be from that horror pack incident that I told you about. So basically what happened, just to give you guys a quick reminder, what happened with horror pack, it was that I ordered a bunch of movies from their stuff. I already showed that in the previous parts of the video. However, one of the things I ordered was the Us 4K Steelbook, 4K Blu-ray Steelbook. I thought it was a really cool steelbook to have. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Us, as I said before. I thought it was interesting. I do have issues with the storytelling. It's just some stuff that stretched the belief, the ability to believe, stretched beyond the points of imagination, whatever that term is. So it was just, yeah. So that was really my main issue with Us. But I was still willing to give it a second try, to watch it again. And honestly, that steelbook, one, looked really cool, and it was like surprisingly cheap for like $10. So I'm like, you know what, let me get that. And you know, as I guys had updated you last week about that, they just didn't have it. I guess they didn't realize it was sold out already, and they still had it there on their website as if it's not sold out. So I bought it not knowing it was already sold out. So the Jenny, Right, was it Jenny? Yeah, I was talking to her. She was a representative, the horror pack representative was talking to me and going with the process like, hey, by the way, this happened, but she was the one updating me, and I'm like, so I asked her, hey, is it cool if I just get these other two things instead of getting the refund? Thing is, the refund had already gone through, so she was like, if you want, you could get the refund. Sorry, if you want, you could order what you want for those $10, and we'll refund you the shipping and handling, and that's what we did. And yeah, I got my refund, and these are the two movies that I got, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I already said this in the previous updates video, but now I have them, so I'm going to show it to you. And the first one here, it's the Blu-ray. It's the Killer Movie Blu-ray. And honestly, I just picked this up because it just seems like a fun slasher movie. That's really like, it's the slasher I've never heard of. I looked into it and was like, you know, it sounds like a fun little slasher movie. Why not for Halloween, a cheesy little slasher movie? And it has, you know, Kaylee Cuoco and Leighton Meester. You know, Kaylee Cuoco, she's from Big Bang Theory. Leighton Meester, she's from Gossip Girl, I want to say. I believe she's from Gossip Girl. You know, I've never seen Gossip Girl, so go figure. But, you know, I have seen Big Bang Theory. I actually just watched Young Sheldon like 2 weeks ago. I just binge watched that because it was all on Netflix, except for the seventh season, the last season, because that just came out. So I watched that through another website, you know. But yeah, so I just wanted to get this just because, you know, it seems like a fun slasher movie. Why not? Why not? You know, like, that's really it. And then the last thing I picked up here, it's the 12 Film Flash Fest Zombie Unbrained Collection. So basically 12 zombie movies, or technically 11, because there's one here that I kind of question why it's here. I don't really consider it a zombie movie. I'll get to it in a second. But the movies that we have here are Carnival of Souls, Dead Men Walk, Horror of the Zombies, House of the Living Dead, King of the Zombies, The Last Man on Earth, Mutant, Night of the Living Dead, Oasis of the Zombies, The Snake People, Teenage Zombie, and White Zombie. So yeah, those are the 12 movies that we have here in this collection, and I'll be honest, I have no idea what the hell Carnival of Souls is doing on this collection. It is not a zombie movie at all. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy I have it. Don't get me wrong. I just question why it's here, because it's not a zombie, like, I would not consider this a zombie movie at all, like, nothing like that. Maybe like a supernatural movie, or like maybe like a ghost movie per se, but it is, I think that's one of the furthest things it is for a zombie movie. Like, I just don't get why Carnival of Souls is on this list, in this collection. It makes no sense. And the only thing I can really think of is like the very ending, when, spoilers, but the very ending, it's when the main character, I forget her name, but the main character, she goes into the carnival, you know, and she's been paranoid of this carnival. Like, throughout the whole movie, she's paranoid about this carnival. She's always asking about this carnival, and a lot of the people in the town are like giving her like looks and like, you know, what's wrong with this chick, you know. Every time she asks about this carnival, so she finally goes into the carnival, and these ghouls, they're more like ghouls, or like, since it's the name of the movie, Carnival of Souls, they're more like ghosts that are coming in and, you know, take her. You know, it's one of those things. It's not really a zombie movie. It's more like a ghoul movie. But then again, Night of the Living Dead, in the first one, Night of the Living Dead, which is here, they called the zombies ghouls too, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. But like, I wouldn't call that a zombie movie. Maybe like a ghost movie. It's more of a haunting movie. You know, supernatural haunting movie. So I don't know what the hell Carnival of Souls is doing in this collection. But again, I'm so happy. That's the one thing I question. Some of the other movies here that we have here, I mean, I've never heard of Dead Man Walk. I've never heard of Mutant. The Snake People, I have no idea what that one's about. But I see Voodoo, and again, the original zombies, the original concept for zombies was voodoo, so that makes sense why it's there. But, you know, and some of these, of course, I've heard of. Of course, I've heard of Night of the Living Dead. Of course, I've heard of White Zombie, for example. Last Man on Earth. Sure, I could kind of buy Last Man on Earth being here, if I'm being honest. But, like, again, Carnival of Souls, no idea what the hell is doing here, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, these are the 3 movies I picked up. And, again, I may not get an update movie-wise for some time, so we'll see when the next one is. But the last thing I want to show off, and it's kind of has to do with movies, kind of not, but it's this sweatshirt from Soap. But, yeah, I did another video where I basically did an unboxing for that shirt in particular, that sweatshirt, pullover sweatshirt in particular, because that is actually from the company Soap. I guess you could call it Soap / Film Tribe, and where my friend Jeffrey Crichton, who I've worked with a bunch of times, he's the owner of that company, of that film production studio, so to speak. And yeah, he's starting to make his own merchandise. And by the way, not sponsored at all. I'm just trying to help a brother out. But yeah, I bought this. I bought this with my own money. just to prove how not sponsored that is, because usually you will get this for free, but no, I bought that with my own money. And yeah, again, like I said, I did a whole unboxing video that's like about 5 minutes long, if that much. At the time that I'm filming this, I will be posting it maybe in the next couple days, so that video should already be up. And again, it's probably like 5 minutes long, if even that long. So yeah, but definitely do check out that video. And yeah, again, I'm just trying to support a friend. I bought that, and as you can see, that image right there, that's one of the posters from the movie. There's like 2 or 3 posters that this movie has, and that's the most intriguing one in my opinion. It's the best one they have. And yeah, he has a bunch of other products that he's selling. He's selling like puzzles, for example, and like water bottles, and like different shirts, like t-shirts and long sleeve t-shirts and like hoodies. This is like the pullover one, and they have this in a bunch of different colors. They have it in black, they have it in white, gray, blue, red, yellow, pink. So yeah, they have that in a bunch of different colors. And I know the water bottles, they also come in orange and green. I'm not sure about the shirts, but I know for sure the water bottles come in that. And again, they have puzzles, they have like stickers and whatever. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, definitely do check it out. Link down below for that. But yeah, that's basically all the stuff I got so far. Let's see if we get another update. Hello y'all, so the haul continues. I have a bunch of more stuff here. I actually just got another package in the mail. So I have 3 packages in the mail so far. I guess 2 now that one of them just came in. And I think after those 2 packages come into me and delivered, I think by that point I should be done with this entire movie haul. So yeah, so basically I do have 3 movies here, plus a book that I'm going to show off before we actually get to the unboxing of it all. And yeah, so just kind of to go from there. So to show off the book that I got, and it's a graphic novel, and it's The Trial of Roger Casement by Fionnuala Doran. So this is the book that I got, and this was heavily discounted at Books and Books, which there was a Books and Books right across the street from this place I was filming this week. Yeah, and yeah, I mean that film was something else, to be honest, and you'll see on the vlog that I do for the video that's dedicated for that. But yeah, I found this book there, and I just picked it up, and it was very interesting, and it was heavily discounted on their like 50% rack, which honestly this was basically dirt cheap, because really the original price for this book is like $20 essentially, and I ended up getting it for $3 plus tax, which is like dirt cheap. So even way more than 50%. I'm not really sure what the percentage there will be, but yeah, this is the one book I picked up. Just showed it here because why not. Next up, I picked up a few stuff that were on sale, and this one comes from Shop Factory when they had a sale end of last month, I want to say, and I forget exactly what the sale was, because immediately right after that sale ended, they have another sale which is all based on anime. And honestly, I thought I was going to pick up more from this sale, but the thing with this, and I've said this in the past when it comes to Shop Factory, I don't like their sales at all. I feel like their sales are always very random, but the titles they pick for their sales are very random, and I don't feel like they're really giving you a sale. I feel like they're just discounting a few dollars, like it goes from $25 to $22, and that's not really a sale, if that makes sense. It's not like Kino Lorber, which is where the rest of these movies come from. It's not where Kino Lorber, where they sell a movie for $20 and then they sell it for $7 on sale. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like I don't feel like I'm getting a deal. So there were a few other steelbooks that they had that I was planning on picking up, or I did consider picking up, but I just didn't at the end. But I did pick up this one steelbook, and it's from Motel Hell. And honestly, I've been looking for this steelbook for some time. It's honestly one of the coolest looking steelbooks I've ever seen. I think just the graphics on it are amazing. And I don't know anything about the movie. I'm going to be honest. I don't know much about the movie aside from the fact that it's a 80s, 70s, or 80s slasher from that time. And, it's a decent movie from what I've heard. But yeah, I just really wanted a steelbook. I've always thought this steelbook looks cool, and I want to get it. And supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but supposedly this was going to be like the last run of the steelbook, or like since it's going on sale, it's not going to be available anymore, some shit like that. I don't fully believe that, if I'm being honest, but that's honestly the only reason I picked it up. I picked it up because of that, and because it kind of seems like it was somewhat of a decent deal. It went from like $25 to about $15, somewhere around there. So I'm like, okay, cool. There's actually kind of a decent deal here. So yeah. Next up, the next 2 movies I picked up were from Kino Lorber. I mean, everything I picked up at this point is from Kino Lorber, including the package. But these 2 are not in a package, and I bought these 2 right before another Kino Lorber sale. Let's be honest, Kino Lorber is one of those websites that they're always having sales, and you kind of question, are their products really $20, or are their products really just $7? You know what I mean? but they're having some sales right there. And one of these I bought just because of the recent news. And for those who haven't heard by this point, it happened like 2-3 weeks ago at this point. But Donald Sutherland has died. So I picked up a movie that he was in, and that is Fellini's Casanova. I've actually never seen a Federico Fellini movie at all. And the fact that I just got it for Donald Sutherland also kind of makes it all the better. Of course, I know Donald Sutherland's work. He was Hunger Games, I think, is the thing that right now, nowadays, he's most famous for. But, he was also in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, for example. So he's done a bunch of other work. And the fact that he worked with Fellini at one point is really cool. So I got that. And then I also picked up this movie. I bought a Vampire Motorcycle, just a cheesy, fun horror movie. From there, it has Anthony Daniels, which I find kind of funny. I did watch it already. I forget. And Anthony Daniels portrays like the detective, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't have the biggest part in the movie, so it is kind of is what it is. But yeah, it's a fun movie, very British. And overall, it's a fun movie. I feel like the ending kind of falls by the wayside at the end. But, kind of just is what it is. And now for the package, let's see what we got. I'm not going to lie, low-key, I kind of forgot what I got by this point. I have an idea, but I don't fully remember. Alright, so all the movies are here, and now time to show you. So first off, we have Fear and Desire. So this is Stanley Kubrick's first movie, I think. First or second movie. He did a few short films before he actually became a feature film filmmaker, and this one I'm pretty sure is his first, if not his second movie right there. Got this, and yeah, I mean, early Kubrick is just very hard to come by, and the fact that they had it there on sale, that's honestly why I got it. Next up, we have Judgment at Nuremberg. Honestly, it's a title that everybody talks about. It's one that it's considered such a classic of the genre of the court drama. Also, around this time, I was really going into Judy Garland, which she's in. She has a small role in this one, and just like her career, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go watch this, because this kind of helped in her comeback in film and cinema and entertainment in general. So that's why I picked this up. Kind of going along those same lines, I also have Witness for the Prosecution, another big movie within the court drama genre, And Tyrone Powers, for those who don't know, earlier this year or end of last year, during the Christmas haul, I basically picked up a whole Tyrone Powers collection that's somewhere there. Tyrone Powers is an actor that I've been really trying to get into, and I'll be honest, I think I didn't, when I ordered this, I don't think I realized that Tyrone Powers was in it. It's just now that I'm looking at Tyrone Powers here in the corner, I'm like, oh crap, oh shoot, Tyrone Powers is in this, nice. So yeah, which kind of works out, because again, I am trying to get into a bit more into Tyrone Powers and some of his films, and some of that like era of Hollywood, like very early Hollywood. Next up, we have The Golem. So this is the 1920 silent film, and I thought I had this, honestly, already. I thought I had it, if not this Blu-ray, I thought I at least had it in one of the collections, one of the horror collections that I have here, but I didn't. So honestly, that's why I got it. And I saw this last year, and honestly, I think it's one of the best horror movies ever made. It's one of the best silent movies ever made, and it's part of a trilogy. This movie is actually part of the trilogy, but the other two movies in this trilogy are lost. They were lost to time. Go figure. So it's good that we have this one at least that survived. And yeah, that's one of the things I noticed a lot about the stuff that is on sale this time around for Kino Lorber. They had a bunch of their silent films on sale, and I did pick up a bunch of their silent films, so that's really cool. And yeah, here we go. Mephisto, and this is a movie from the 1980s, 1981 specifically, and honestly, this is just one that I kind of just found interesting. I read the plot, I'm like, yeah, that sounds interesting, and that's honestly why I got it. And it's the winner of the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film back in 1981. Did not know this, so pretty cool. And I just searched it up. The images, the visuals look very striking. That's why I picked it up. And it's kind of based on Faust, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's why I picked it up. It just looked very cool, very interesting, and that's why I picked it up. So to kind of go with the silent film of it all, I also picked up The Indian Tomb. This is the 1921 version of it. And this is written by Fritz Lang. And Fritz Lang is a silent filmmaker that I've really come to appreciate, especially in the past year and a half. Just what he's been able to do with what he was given during that time. Of course, best known for Metropolis, but I am trying to find some of his other films, and Indian Tomb is one he wrote. I'm not sure if he directed it. I mean, it says Joel Mays, so probably not, but he definitely wrote it. I know he did eventually do a version of the Indian Tomb back in the 50s, but that was like a talkie, so take that for what you will. But yeah, I just found this to be very interesting. It's gonna go with that whole Fritz Lang of it all. I did see a collection of Fritz Lang movies, of a bunch of his early works, which includes Metropolis, for example, and some of the other works that he did there, like Die Nuremberg, or Nibelung. I have it right here. It's like Die Nibelung, Has Spies, Has Women on the Moon, for example, has a bunch of his early works from like the 20s to 30s. It's a collection of it, and they were selling it at Kino Lorber, and I was actually going to consider picking it up. I was going to pick it up. I did consider picking that one up, but I'm like, let me see if it's on Amazon. And it's cheaper on Amazon, so I just have it there on my wish list on Amazon for the time being. But yeah, but Indian Tomb sounds really cool. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Just look at silent cinema. Look at silent films, especially early cinema. You really can't go wrong with it. I really do highly recommend it. And yeah, so that's what we have here. To kind of also go along with the whole silent film of it all, we have Tartuffe. And honestly, I kind of just picked this up for the joke. So me and my friend had this joke with Tartuffe, that because he does not like Tartuffe. He does not like to play, because it did start off as play. He does not like to play at all. And part of it has to do with the fact that in our class, our teacher, he shows, like after we read Tartuffe, he shows the BBC version of Tartuffe, or the BBC live play version of Tartuffe with like Nigel Thornwood or something like that. I forget his name right now. He always shows that, and we always joke about that. Me and my friends, we always joke about Tartuffe and how he should read Tartuffe again, how we should remake Tartuffe and stuff like that, with just a bunch of dumb jokes like that. And the most famous version of Tartuffe on film is the original silent film version of it with Emil Jennings, who's actually an Oscar winner. Not for this movie, but he is an Oscar winner. He won for Dr. Zhivago, actually, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, he won for... No. He won for The Life of Emile Zola. My bad. He won for The Life of Emile Zola, which I think that was in the 14th or 15th Academy Award, Oscars. So, yeah. That's honestly why I got it. There are a bunch of other versions of Tartuffe, but the thing is that this is, like, straight up, for film, this is the most famous version of Tartuffe put on film. Because all the other versions of it are just, like, play recordings. So, like, Hamilton, for example, if you guys know Hamilton, how they recorded it and now it's up on Disney Plus. It's kind of the same thing. Like the BBC did it back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and there's a bunch of recordings from the 60s and from the 70s and from the 80s where they just recorded the play and they put it online. But when it comes to actual movies, this is really the only notable version of it. So that's why I picked it up, kind of just for the jokes, because why not? Next up, we picked up Russian Ark. So yeah, a modern day silent film. I'm actually not sure if it's like would be considered a silent film per se, but yeah, honestly, this is a movie that I've been looking to see for some time. Just if you know the concept behind it, where it's again literally just one shot, one continuous shot for like 90 plus minutes. It's 99 minutes. It's just crazy. It's such a crazy concept. I love those type of movies where it's like one shot. I love just one shots in general, and these long takes and whatever have you. And like I do try to incorporate that into the films that I make, produce, whatever, and you know, just to have a whole film just done in one shot, it's just amazing. For me, I do have the concept for a movie that could be done in one shot. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to do it, because I do need a little bit of funding, if I'm being honest. But, you know, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like Birdman. It's stuff like Victoria, for example, where the whole thing is just done in one shot. And it's just amazing. You know what I mean? And that's... it's such for me, it's such an innovative concept. Every time that it's done, it just always amazes me. And I think this by far is probably the biggest example of that. I can't think of another film that's had such a cultural impact with that concept. Not that I can think of. Birdman, perhaps. Birdman's really the only other film I could kind of think of it in that way. But even then, it's still trumped by Russian Ark. Next up, I picked up The Adventures of Prince Ahmed. So this is one of the earliest animated movies ever. Back in, does it say the year here? 1926. So yeah, this is considered one of the earliest animated movies ever. I think there are a few animated movies even before this that are still around, but this is just in general considered one of the first animated movies ever, and especially feature films, because a lot of the other films, animated movies are still around, are just short little clips or short films. This is like the only one that's a feature film or feature film length. And honestly, just like Russian Ark, just like the Golem, this is one of those seminal films I think everybody needs to watch in some capacity, and I just love the fact that it's here. I'm looking at the bonus features and I'm like, does it have a few other little short films here? Like, because here, let me just read them off. It's The Secrets of Marquise, The Flying Coffer, Dr. Doolittle's Lion Den, Dr. Doolittle, A Trip to Africa, Dr. Doolittle, Cannibal Land, damn, Cannibal Land, Jesus, The Death Feigning Chinaman, The Death Feigning Chinaman, The Cowpish Stork, The Magic Horse, Aladdin and His Magic Lamp, The Star of Bethlehem, and The Lost Son. So there's a few other films right there. I'm not sure if those are short films or whatever, but didn't really know that. But yeah, again, early animation, it's great. It's basically, I don't know, would it be considered stop motion? I don't think this is stop motion. It's more like paper cutout stuff, The only other example I could think of this type of animation is South Park, and like very specifically, just the very first episode of South Park, where it was just these paper cutouts, and they just kind of moved it, and then they took pictures and animated it. But like, I guess that's stop motion, but like, yeah. So I mean, that's the way this is animated. It's just very cool. I've always seen clips of it. I've always seen the images of it, and even for the time, I just find it to be very striking and very excited. Animation is my favorite genre. If it's not animation, it's between this and horror. Like, those are my two favorite genres. And again, this is one of these classic, fundamental movies of that genre. Next up, I picked up Sidewalk Stories from 2013, and this is actually another modern day silent film. And from what I understand, this is more of an anthology silent film, so it has a bunch of little stories, and they're all, silent films. And a lot of people compare the main story of this, because even though it does have a few like random little stories, there is a main story in this film. And a lot of people compare the main story to The Kid and the Tramp. So Charlie Chaplin and the Tramp, and his character the Tramp, and the little short film The Kid. A lot of people compare it to that. So you can even see an image of here with the guy and the little girl. And again, it's a modern day silent film, and that's why I picked it up. I almost didn't pick it up, if I'm being honest. I did like flip flop on this one for a bit, but I'm like, screw it, let me just pick it up. And yeah, I don't really know much about it. This is honestly the only movie here I've never heard of in any capacity. Yeah, why not? It's silent film, and I'm trying to get more into silent film. I really love silent film. I do think it's an underappreciated genre. Would it be considered a genre? I guess I'm not really sure, but I do think it's something that it's very underappreciated, and that's honestly why I picked it up. And last but not least, I have these two collections. They're both for the same person, so it's kind of a part 1 and part 2, and that is the Alice Guy Bloch Volumes 1 and Volume 2 collections. So Alice Guy Bloch, she is it Bloch or Blanche? There's no N, so, or Blache? I don't know. You tell me. There's an accented E. So she's one of the pioneers of women filmmaking. I mean, even says that right there. Pioneers, first woman filmmaker. And again, I'm trying to really explore this year. I'm really trying to explore these areas of filmmaking that you don't really pay attention to. Again, silent films, women filmmakers, for example, in this case. And that's why I picked it up. And this is something I've been looking to buy for some time. And finally, I got it. And yeah, this is split up between two eras of her life. She was really known for working with Mart and really working with Solox, which were two film production companies at the time. Kind of. It's one of those things, like, they were like camera companies, but they were kind of trying to do films. It's like saying if Sony back then was just a camera company and they kind of dabbled in filmmaking. It's kind of like that same logic. So yeah, the Volume 1 is the Mart years, and Volume 2 is the Solax years. And just to kind of go over the films that are featured in each collection. In the first one, and this is a variety of just short films and feature films. I feel like most of the feature films are going to be here than here, because this is like her early stuff and this is her later work. But even then, the films in total span from 1898, which 1898 at that point I think it's the oldest film I have in my whole collection. But they span from 1898 all the way to 1914. So all of these are over 100 years old, at least. The youngest one here is 110 years old. So yeah, the oldest one here will be 126 years old. So with all that being said, I'm just gonna go over the list of films that are in both collections. And here for the Mart years, we have At the Hypnotist, Wonderful Absinthe, At the Photographers, The Cabbage Patch Fairy, Turn of the Century Surgery, Midwife to the Upper Class, Alice Guy Films A Phonoscene, The Results of Feminism, The Drunken Mattress, The Hierarchy of Love, Madam Has Her Cravings, A Sticky Woman, The Rolling Bed, The Glue, and more. Like, it literally says and more, so who even knows what else is there. And then for here, the Solax years, we have Starting Something, Parson Sue, Broken Oath, A Comedy of Errors, The Detective's Dog, Frozen on Love's Trail, The Girl in the Armchair, His Double, Making an American Citizen, A Man's Man, The Sewer, The Strike, A Terrible Lesson, Cousins of Sherlocko, Dick Washington and His Cat, Officer Henderson, The Thief, and Mr. Bruce Wins at Cards. So just a great collection here with all these films here, and more. I can't believe it says and more. So there's even more films here. Just got me very excited. And yeah, that's basically all I got in this part of the haul. Just to show you very fast. Plus the book that's over there. Nope. Also all that. Plus the book. Yeah, that's all I got for now, and I should have 2 more packages coming in the mail as of this time. I have one thing that I picked up from Severin. I picked up 4 movies, I want to say 4 or 5 movies from Severin, because they had a sale recently. And I've never ordered from Severin, but it's something that it's a website or a boutique company that I've been looking at for some time. So they finally had a sale with a lot of good stuff on discount, unlike fucking Shop Factory, who doesn't know how to do a sale at all. So I picked up some stuff from them, like 4 or 5 things if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully that gets in the mail sometime this week. That's a weird thing. Even with Kino Lorber, this past month, when I ordered from Kino Lorber, when I ordered from Shout Factory too, because I got Motel Hell earlier this month when I ordered from Severin. Like, I don't know if there's like a delay or something with these websites right now, but like, or maybe they're just getting orders in bulk and that's why they're kind of delayed. But it's one of those things, like, usually they ship the items within 1 or 2 days. Well, right now it's taking like a week, almost 2 weeks for this to ship. Like, honestly, this whole Kino Lorber stuff that I got right now, it took 2 weeks to ship. I got the notification that it was shipped on Monday. It is currently Thursday. But I had ordered this like 2 weeks ago, so, you know, and I've ordered packages this big in the past, and they usually ship within like 2 or 3 days. Like, I even double checked to make sure like if this is normal. So there's that. Same thing with even Motel Hell. The Steelbook from Shout Factory. Like, that also took a significant amount of time to ship. So I don't even know what's going on recently. And I haven't even gotten the notification from Severin that, hey, your thing has shipped. So I'm still missing that package. And then I also ordered something from my friend's website, Matthew Mark Hunter, who I've worked with in the past. I just picked up some of his movies, mostly the movies that I also worked on, just to have a copy of it. Recently, his website went down, and he kind of lost a lot of the stuff. Like, he had everything backed up, but like, it's no longer online, so he's trying to rebuild that. I don't know what happened there exactly. Some dumb bullshit essentially happened, but I kind of want to mitigate that from happening in any capacity for me. And because of that, I basically ordered the films that we worked on together, essentially what it comes down to. And he hasn't shipped that yet, but that's because he's been in and out of town recently in the past 2 months or whatever, because of his work. So yeah, that's basically it for the haul for now. Let's see what happens next. Cutting to that right now. Alright, and this is going to be the final video part, whatever, of this entire movie haul. I think it's finally time for me to finally post this in the next day or two, so I'm just going to end it with the last few movies I got, as well as a few miscellaneous items. I'm like, you know what, let me just show it because why not? So yeah, the last few things I have are basically from the Criterion sale that Barnes & Noble's had. So every year, twice a year I think, Barnes & Noble's and Criterion have their annual sale. I want to say it's like twice a year or once a year, or maybe it's on the website that's twice a year. I don't remember right now, but they're having their sale, and everything's always 50% off. It's a great deal, and usually, I've said this in the past, but I usually don't like buying from the Criterion website itself. Usually, I find a lot of their titles just cheaper on a bunch of other websites, whether that be Amazon or eBay, Depop, Mercari, whatever. That being said, when Barnes & Noble's does a 50% off, or when they have their sales, usually those prices are equal to what you will normally find on these other websites. So because of that, for this time around, I got 5 titles, technically 6 titles, and I would say that in a second why. And yeah, and before I get to that, I do want to say that originally I was going to pick up another movie. I was going to pick up All About Eve. That's the one I was going to pick up, but for whatever reason, it wasn't part of the sale at Barnes & Noble's. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, because it was a Criterion movie. I double checked, it is a Criterion movie, but for whatever reason, it wasn't part of the sale, so I decided not to pick it up at the end, because it was still dumb expensive. But yeah, I still got these 5 movies, and the first one I'm going to go with is 12 Angry Men. Honestly, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is honestly one of the best scripts ever. It's one of the best directed movies ever. It's amazing, it's great, and you know, I've had chances in the past to just buy the regular Blu-ray, buy the DVD, whatever. But no, I was waiting to eventually get the Criterion, and here it is. And honestly, the cover for it is just amazing. I love it. And this also has the original teleplay. So if you guys don't know, the story of 12 Angry Men originally started off as a play for one of these TV shows. Back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, you had a bunch of these like theater program TV shows where every week it's a new play in TV format. Some of them were already adapted stuff. Some of them are stuff that is just written for the show itself. And I forget if 12 Angry Men was written for the show itself, or if it was already a play outside of that. But yeah, it has both the movie, the Sidney Lumet movie, as well as the original teleplay from Studio One. Studio One, Frank Schaefer's 1955 teleplay here. And yes, it has an introduction by Ron Simon. So that's really cool. And I actually have seen the original teleplay. It's actually here on YouTube. And the one thing that's very different about the teleplay, aside from the fact that it's a teleplay and this is an actual movie, is the ending. The ending to 12 Angry Men, depending on where you read it, changes drastically, because the one they went for the movie is like the upbeat ending, so to speak, whereas the one they went for the teleplay, and I think in the original script itself, it's the realistic ending. And yeah, I definitely do go check out the original teleplay from 1955. Again, you can find it here on YouTube, and it is great that they actually have it here. I didn't actually expect that, but I like the fact that they have it here. The ending in the original version is just a lot more, way much more of a downer. Next up, we have the double pack, and that is A Story of Floating Weeds and Floating Weeds, the Yoshihiro Ozu collection, basically, or two-movie Yoshihiro Ozu Floating Weeds collection. So yeah, for those who don't know, Yoshihiro Ozu, I'm not even sure I'm saying that name correctly, but he's considered one of the best Japanese directors ever, and originally he did A Story of Floating Weeds as a silent film back in the 30s, 1934, and here it says 1934, and this is right before talkies, I think just right as talkies were becoming big, but he didn't have the resources at the time to make it a talkie, so he made it a silent film. And several decades later, in 1959, he basically decided to do the same movie, just talking. So that's why you have two movies. The Story of Floating Weeds, that's the silent film version, and then just Floating Weeds, that is the talkie version. And it's really cool that they have this as a combo pack. I really like that. I think that's a brilliant idea. And I've been meaning to check these out for some time already, ever since I found out about this, because there's very few filmmakers who remake their own film. The only other filmmaker I can think of is Michael Mann, where he did Heat, and that's a remake of another movie he did beforehand, like a few years beforehand. I forget what the original movie's called, but that's the only time I can think of it. I'm trying to think of other movies, other directors who have remade their own movies, and for some reason Scorsese is coming up for The Departed, but I know that was based on a already filmed by Korean or Japanese or Korean film. I forget right now which country that's from. Internal Affairs, that's the movie it was based on. I forget what country that's from, but like, I don't know why Scorsese is the first one that pops up, but I know it's not that, but I know Michael Mann, Heat is a remake of another film, but yeah. But again, I can't really think of any other director who's ever really done that, aside from Heat, aside from Michael Mann. So yeah, it's really great that they have this, and I've been looking forward to checking this out, so yeah. Next up, we have another movie. This is a Korean movie. This is Drive My Car, Best Picture nominated 2 years ago, I want to say, by Ryusuke Hamagachi, and I heard a lot of great stuff about this when it first came out. I haven't seen it, and that's honestly why I got it. I actually didn't even expect this. I didn't even know this was part of the Criterion Collection, so I saw it there in the store. I'm like, oh, that's part of the Criterion Collection? Buying it right now. So yeah, I've heard a lot of great stuff about it, and can't wait to check it out. That's the thing. I don't know what else to comment on it, because I don't know anything about it. I haven't really seen anything from it. So yeah, so that for the fact that it's the Best Picture nominated. Pretty sure he got nominated for Best Director too, if I'm not mistaken. Next up, and this is probably one I'm going to get some heat for, because I've never seen this movie, despite the fact that it's from one of my favorite directors of all time, one of my favorite actors of all time, and that is Raging Bull. Yeah, I've never seen Raging Bull, straight up, I'll be honest with you. And I don't know why, but I was honestly kind of surprised to see Raging Bull part of the Criterion Collection. Granted, it's not like I know what every movie that's on the Criterion Collection is, but for whatever reason, Driving My Car didn't think it was going to be there. Raging Bull didn't think it was going to be there until I saw it right there on display, and that's why I got it. And yeah, De Niro is one of my favorite actors of all time, definitely like top 10 for sure. Scorsese, on any given Sunday, he could either be number one, he could either be number two, it's right there. He usually switches along with Hitchcock a lot, so very happy I got this. And last but not least, we have Tampopo from Juzu Itami. That's the one we got here. And honestly, this is another movie I've heard a lot of stuff about. I've seen a lot of like stills and just read a lot of stuff about it. So I'm like, you know what, let me just get it, pick it up. And honestly, the cover looks nice. And yeah, so for the movies, that is all I got. Just to reiterate, I got Tampopo, I got Raging Bull, I got Drive My Car, Floating Weeds Collection, and 12 Angry Men. Now, on to some of the other things I got here. So, I went to go watch Deadpool vs. Wolverine. Oh my gosh, great movie, fun movie. So yeah, but when I was in the theater, of course, I wanted some popcorn, and I wanted a drink. Sadly, they didn't have the buckets for Deadpool and Wolverine. Tears. But they did have a few other buckets, which I'm like, you know what, let me pick those up. And that is the Twister Cup and Twister Bucket. And I've heard a lot of good stuff about Twister. Let me see if I can get this here. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Twister, and I'll probably watch it eventually, probably by the end of the year, I'll definitely watch it, but, it was cool just to have this. I don't really have any other buckets like this, at least plastic. I have one from Civil War, but it's like the regular cardboard bucket that's kind of falling apart right here. It's like literally in this direction. So that's the only other bucket I have. So I have this one now. And then for the cups, I do have a few cups like that, which I'm not sure if you can see it right there. It's like right there on my windowsill. That's where I have them. They're probably covered by something else, but that's where I have a few of these like memorable cups. But they're like the big, like, you know, Regal Theater cups. Where this is like a thin thing. You know, this is like a thin cup, like a regular cup. So really cool to have that. And then last but not least, which is something that I literally just got here in the mail today. I got this from Depop. This vest here, which I'm not sure if I'm holding it correctly, but yeah, I got this from Depop. So yeah, I like the idea of vests. I have another vest in my closet, a puffer vest I got a few years ago, not a few years ago, probably like about 5-6 years ago, and it's too big on me, but I got it because it was on sale. And here I got another vest. A vest is something I always just like wearing. At least I want to like to wear, better said. But I just don't have a proper vest, and I thought this would have been the proper vest, and it's not, sadly. It's actually too small on me. I can't button it up at all. So if I want to wear it, I have to wear it open, which, you know, is an idea. I'm not gonna lie. But see, it's like too small on me. Like I like the color, I like the fabric. It's like it's cotton, but I can't really button it at all because I'm too big for it. So like I can't do that. Definitely can't do that. You know, definitely can't do that. So like it's too big on me, which sucks. You know, maybe I'll wear it like this open. Like honestly, it looks good open. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe I'll just do that because I do that with some of my other smaller jackets. I'll just leave them open and go from there. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of disappointed because I did ask the seller like, oh, what are the measurements? And everything checked out. That happens sometimes. Like even though the measurements are correct, they still, for whatever reason, it's still too small. I don't know what the fuck the deal is sometimes there, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's everything I got. This entire haul, this big video. I'll definitely be doing some graphics right now, or not graphics, but like a slideshow, whatever, informing you guys of how many movies I picked up this time around, as well as other miscellaneous stuff like the buckets, the vest, the shelf. You know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this already, but the shelf, this is new. This shelf is new, by the way. I made a whole video showing my room being remodeled, where the shelf was the main feature of it. So yeah, definitely go check that one out. Like, I got so much stuff in the past, I don't know, 2 months, or whenever the last one was in May. We're in August right now. The last one was in May. So in the past 2 months, essentially, when I did that haul, I'll show you guys every single movie I got. You know, I'll show you, hey, I got like 50 movies, probably more, I don't know. But you know, how many movies, how many clothes, because I'm pretty sure I showed out something else clothes-wise that I got. How many buckets, how many cups, how many books. I did get a book. I'm not sure if I showed it last time. I forget if I showed this last time, and if I did, well, you're seeing it again. But I did get this book at Books and Books when I was filming something. Yeah, I definitely did show this, because now I remember I was bitching about something that happened around that time. So, but you know, you get to see it again. But yeah, everything I picked up. We'll see what the final tally is. But thank you for sticking around, and let's see what happens next. This is Daniel Mart signing off.